The older you get, the more you shouldn't talk about your private life. Don't talk about your personal life more than necessary. While you can feel relatively free to share your deepest secrets with your family, it's best to keep your distance from everyone else. The older you get, the more careful you should be with your words to avoid causing unnecessary trouble. Never talk about your family history or weaknesses, especially if they are unfavorable. Always reflect on your actions and words. Hide your inner paths. Don't talk about your problems. Keep your private matters at home and be careful not to regret them. Be careful not to let your secrets negatively affect your life. As time flows, relationships change endlessly. Don't keep your secrets with someone who could pull away at any moment. Bad things can happen if you have a bad relationship with someone who knows all your deepest secrets. Here are some reasons why it's not a good idea to talk about your personal life. First, people are inherently selfish. Revealing too much about yourself can be harmful to you. Second, relationships are always changing. The person who is next to you now may not be there in a few months or years. So don't share your secrets. The older you get, the more you need to be careful and vigilant about your behavior and attitude. Watch what you say and do to everyone you meet. Most normal people don't know what is really beneficial and harmful when it comes to conversations and relationships, because we don't know what is good to say. We often say things without thinking about whether they are beneficial or not, just to keep the relationship going. However, this behavior can be deceiving to the person sitting across from you. So, what are the characteristics of people who are good at building relationships? People who are good at handling situations speak up when they have something to say, not when they're being watched. However, there are some people who talk and talk and talk, and the more they talk, the more their relationships with others become strained. Even if they don't have anything to say, they feel like they have to say it, so they say it anyway. Oftentimes, what they say is critical and unconstructive. If you really don't know what to say in a meeting or in a situation, or if you don't have anything to say, don't spew words just to lighten the mood, and don't say what you don't mean. If you say anything just to make the people around you feel good, you may end up saying something you didn't mean to say. And we all know that once you say something, you can't take it back. Your reputation and the image you've worked so hard to build can be destroyed in one fell swoop. So don't let your reputation or image suffer because of something you said in that situation. Some words are better left unsaid. There is a well-known Korean proverb that says that a word can pay off 1,000 debts. This means that words matter just that much, and we need to be careful about what we say, especially when it comes to social relationships. I think we've all had this experience at some point in our lives. You're in a conversation with someone, and you try to steer the conversation in the best possible direction, but they take it in a different way than you initially intended. So what are some of the most damaging things you can say? If there are things you should say and things you shouldn't say, what are the things you shouldn't say? No matter what kind of people we meet, we shouldn't just praise them mindlessly for no reason. There are 2 things you should keep to yourself. Let's talk about things that should never come out of your mouth. If you don't want to ruin your relationship with someone important to you, we all have terrible, wild, and sometimes illegal desires. Even the most seemingly peaceful and morally righteous people. This means that even people who appear to be good, kind, and gentle on the outside have dark and unhealthy thoughts on the inside. We all have bad thoughts in our hearts that are hard to get out of our mouths. But keeping these things secret can help you in your life and relationships. The first thing you should do is to keep your bad thoughts and bad feelings to yourself. It's better not to say something you don't have to and make the relationship awkward. The second thing we should always keep secret is our deepest fears and lies. We all have times when we're faced with a crisis, and we're tempted to lie our way out of it. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Lying is not only evil in itself, but it infects the soul with evil. It takes courage to face your fears and not bring them out in front of people. It's also much better to keep the things you want to lie about a secret. Many people liken our life to a marathon, with its long stretches and short stretches. The implication is that life is a longer, more arduous journey than we thought it would be. Or maybe it means that it's just as hard to get through life as it is to run the marathon. As we go through life, we all realize that our lives are longer than they seem. In such an extended life, there are always big and small accidents and unexpected illnesses that we live on with. Maybe that's a given in life. As we grow older, we experience the bitterness and pain of life that we never thought of when we were younger, and it's up to each of us to endure and survive it. It is at times like these, when we are vulnerable and weak, that we should strive to keep ourselves in shape. I know there are times when one thing after another seems unbearably hard for you,